Pam Parsons, and that is the MHA for the area, and she's on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Christy. How are you? It's summer's finally here.
Thank goodness. And, and road repair work and all these things, too, that seem to come along with the season. So you were listening to Mayor Yetman on the line live. What was your response? What prompted you to call in here this morning?
Absolutely. And as you said, I mean, it certainly is a season, and we're going to see road construction across the province now, of course, until usually October. Yes, I certainly heard the mayor. And I just wanted to add an update, of course. I've been meeting with Minister Loveless on this particular issue and ministers before him. I believe Minister Derek Bragg was in the role prior. I arranged for Minister Bragg at the time to come out and actually ride up and down the Route 70 with the town CAO, Nigel Black. And, of course, we've been lobbying the minister before him, which is Steve Cracker, our neighboring MHA. So I just wanted to make it known that I'm certainly consistently lobbying. And the latest update I do have, I arranged a meeting with the town of Bay Roberts, the council, and Minister Loveless and myself just this spring, just before we went back into the House of Assembly for the spring session. And in that meeting, Minister Loveless did commit to us, the town, that engineering work will take place this summer to examine the underground infrastructure to see if that should be replaced prior to placing new pavement. And also, he did make the commitment. Actually, he stood in the House of Assembly this last session, just before we concluded for the summer, and did state on record that work will be done on Route 70 in Bay Roberts next summer, next construction season. And as the mayor mentioned, it certainly is. We have among the highest traffic volumes throughout the province. We're certainly an expanding area, population-wise and business-wise. Lots of industrial traffic. We have the Portagrave fishery. Also, I want to point out that the road going into Portagrave, I've been also advocating to have that road repairs done to that, because prior to my time as MHA, upon my election in 2015, we hadn't seen any work in that area for quite some time, years going back. So it's certainly well overdue, but I just want to make it known I'm in constant talks with Minister Loveless. He certainly is aware, and his officials in the department, on how important this is and how urgent it is. And believe you me, with the town, myself, we will certainly do everything that we can to keep the attention on this until we get that work on that road.
Well, let's talk about that. A couple of follow-up questions. I mean, by the sounds of what Mayor Yetman had to say this morning, how well is that road going to hold up for another winter?
Well, I can't speak to that, obviously. I don't have that engineering background, but, we all know that it is a heavily utilized road. It's the business, in my opinion, and the stats would prove that the Bay Roberts area certainly is the business hub of Conception Bay North. Again, I can't emphasize enough how busy that road is. I also live in Bay Roberts. It's on my morning job, actually, that I cross that road every morning. And, it certainly is busy. Grocery stores, all kinds of businesses. We also have an RCMP detachment there, Atlantic Groceries there, and that is the largest grocery distributor in Newfoundland and Labrador. And again, Avalon Coal & Salt, with all that heavy equipment for the trucking industries. And the fishery, I can't emphasize enough. Portagrave certainly is an extremely important player in our economy, and that the traffic coming out of Portagrave alone up and down that road is significant, certainly this time of year. So we know that the need is there, and I'm told, and the minister has committed to me, and believe you me, I'm going to hold my colleague to that. But I'm confident that we will see work on that road. Also, Chrissy, important to mention, we're hosting the 2024 Newfoundland and Labrador Summer Games. So we're going to be hosting the province in Bay Roberts and surrounding communities in Conception Bay North for this prestigious sporting event in 2024. And so we certainly need that work done. So believe you me, as MHA, I'm going to be doing everything in my power to see that happens.
I wonder if you can give us some insight, because one of the things that I guess Mayor Yetman was struggling to understand was how the town and how Route 70 didn't make it to that list, even though it met the criteria. Do you have any insight on how certain routes are making it to the list or not, like how those decisions are made?
Well, unfortunately not, because, I'm not minister of that department for transportation infrastructure. So that lays with the responsibility of, the deputy minister and the officials in the department who are advising the minister on what roads get done. But I will say we have 11,000 kilometers of roads in Newfoundland and Labrador, which the provincial government is responsible for. So if you want to, paint a picture, that's like driving from here to Vancouver. We certainly do have significant roadways. that we're responsible for. And I mean, as you can appreciate, across all 40 districts, I know that there is a significant demand for road work. And I mean, as you can appreciate, MHAs are consistently reaching out to the minister. I certainly don't envy him in that position that he is in, because it's a very, very busy portfolio with such a high demand. If those assessments are made with those officials, and Minister Lovelace certainly would be the best person to provide that insight, those details on how the assessments are made. But again, what I can tell you, I mean, we know we have the need here. We have among the highest traffic volumes in the province in Bay Roberts, which is outside of Metro. And I'm told he did make that commitment to me that we will certainly get that road work next summer, and there will be engineering work happening this year to determine what the need is for the underground infrastructure. But I'm also happy to say, just certainly in my district, just down the road in Harbour Grace, it took a long time to advocate and lobby for work on Harvey Street, which is also a provincial roadway, and there's a lot of traffic, of course, in Harbour Grace on Harvey Street. We have Phase 4 complete, and now Phase 5 is that the construction is currently underway now in Harbour Grace. So certainly want to make residents aware of that. They can see it as they're driving it every day, but also caution motorists to be careful, of course, and keep in mind those people are working on the roads. So again, it's a process, Chrissy.
Yeah.
And as MHA, believe you me, I'm consistently keeping these priorities on the radar for the appropriate departments.
Sounds like something's in the works, but maybe not too much help for come home year, as everything's getting dolled up here. We're getting ready to invite people into town, and I guess the lesson there is, just hold your horses, go slow in the meantime.
Yeah, unfortunately, but well, you know what? We'll keep at it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, and have a great summer, Chrissy, and I hope to see you around.
Yeah, you too. You too might be out that way,
All right, you take care.
You too. That's Pam Parsons, the MHA for the area. And, of course, she was responding to a conversation that we had with Bay Roberts Mayor Walter Yetman a little bit earlier. He's got beef with basically not getting that road done this year, Route 70. Not on the list for the provincial road plan at this point. But as Pam Parsons just pointed out, the member for the area, sounds like things are in the works. So we'll continue to follow that story.